We're learning that anti-Trump protests are happening in US and across Europe as well, across big cities and small towns. In fact, just a while back, millions of Americans there poured onto the streets in a sweeping, coordinated protest that is happening against President Donald Trump in what organizers are calling No Kings movement. Said that this could also become the largest day of the protest in the nation's history. So, Rishabh, this anti-Trump protest is happening not just in the United States, but also across the Europe as well. And this is being called as a No King rally. What is the motive? What are they demanding?
Well, what we're given to understand, Akansha, that this is a third wave of No Kings protest that is, that is being organized nationwide in the United States, and this is against the United States president for the way he has conducted himself in last one and a half year. For that matter, at least last 15 months since he has returned to power. That is something that is what we're given to understand, that West Coast marches are underway on the day of protest, large and small, across the country, and throughout the western coast you'll see these protest marches taking place, and the picture showcases that these protests are getting traction as well. Many people are coming out on streets to protest against Donald Trump. Remember, while the hinterlands are still a big supporter of Donald Trump, the coast, be it east or west, aren't that supportive to Donald Trump. So it remains to be seen how things unfold. While Donald Trump is busy in Middle East, back home, the protest is also raging on.
Absolutely. In the backdrop of the war that is going on in West Asia, and Donald Trump time and again saying that he has already won the war, protests are going across the United States. So, Rishabh, this also comes at a time when the approval rating of Donald Trump in the US has also gone down to 36% is what we are learning. What is the common man there in US thinking about the war? Are they divided over this?
Well, definitely. There are hardly any takers of the war in United States. Many suggest that this is not United States war to fight for and to sacrifice for. This is something that is a very clear picture that is coming out. The approval ratings for President Trump are all-time low. It's not only that. If you see the surveys categorically suggest that Americans are not very much interested in this war, and they don't want to fight this war in the first place, let alone sending their children or their men to this war. We have seen the senators also coming out openly against this war, and how a ground operation is something that none of them support. So within US and US polity, things are not as hunky-dory as Donald Trump wants to portray. While he might make statements that how big he is achieving in Middle East, on ground realities are different, and within US polity as well, people do understand that, and that's the reason that you haven't heard much from the administration as well. Tulsi Gabbard, what did she say? It is President's right to go on a war if he feels so. Nowhere in her testimony she said that she supports this war. We haven't heard anything from J.D. Vance, the Vice President, who otherwise is quite vocal. The only people speaking about this war is Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, the War Secretary, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio also have had very calculated and measured statements on this war. So one thing is very clear. US is not very much comfortable now in this war. 1 month, and now the local polity from coast to coast, people are out on street. Inflation, or for that matter, war on Iran, or the ICE policies. All these
absolutely, and people there in the United States, they're not too happy with the decision by Donald Trump to wage a war, because billions are being spent every day. And in the latest, they've also sought, White House has sought $200 billion in military funding in the wake of Iran war, and that is why, hence, we can see there is anger on the streets.